Good morning, good morning, good morning. It is your girl Veronica. Welcome to Vitality with Veronica, where we talk about all things health, fitness, wellness, and spirituality. And I am Veronica Delafonte. So today is Monday morning. It's the Monday after Valentine's Day. So I hope your Valentine's Day was really good. I hope you got to show some love to your partner or even to your family members. I was a single mom for a really long time, and my Valentine was my son, and we did special things together, and he still is my Valentine. He's my number one Valentine. So, anyways, I hope you have a wonderful day. It is currently 7 o'clock in the morning. I'm just finishing my morning routine. Usually after I do my exercise, like a slight exercise to wake my body up, then I go into my face creams and all of that. But I went to church yesterday, and the pastor did a sermon on a specific passage in the Bible, and it really, really like stuck with me. And so I wanted to share that with you. And we have our little deer outside. They're just like eating all the hay out there. And so it really, when the pastor was speaking, it really took me back to some times that were like not the best times in my life. And not in When I say that, I mean they were like really sad times. They were really dark times. And I wish that I had remembered what the pastor talked about on Sunday in church. And I'm going to read the passage to you because it really I really wanted to share this with you because you might be going through a season in your life, and just like the seasons, they come and go. I never really paid attention to seasons until I started living here in Wisconsin, and it just it amazes me that the winter, the summer, the fall, the spring, those are the four seasons. And when you live in Miami, you don't have four seasons. You just have four seasons of heat. It's like hot, hotter, hottest, and hot AF. You know what I mean? So it's like, come on now. Until I came here, I didn't realize how even though the seasons are the same names, the seasons are so different. Every winter that I spent up here is way different than the first winter that I spent up here. Every summer that I spent here is way different than any other summer I spent here. It just really made me think when the pastor was preaching on this, like every season in your life is different, right? And so you have to embrace whatever season that you're in, And let me read this first, and then I'll talk about the different seasons. So I'm reading from Ecclesiastes chapter 3, verses 1 through 8. Okay, there is a time for everything and a season for every activity under the heavens, a time to be born and a time to die, a time to plant and a time to uproot, a time to kill and a time to heal, a time to tear down and a time to build, a time to weep and a time to laugh, a time to mourn and a time to dance, a time to scatter stones and a time to gather them, a time to embrace and a time to refrain from embracing, a time to search and a time to give up, a time to keep and a time to throw away, a time to tear and a time to mend, a time to be silent and a time to speak, a time to love and a time to hate, a time for war and a time for peace. And that really just stuck out to me because the time that I am in my life right now, and I'm going to just speak for myself right now. the time that I am in my life right now, I had been a dancer for 15 years, and just one day I was like, this is over with. You know what I mean? There was no rhyme to my reason. I was just like, I'm not about this life anymore. And it was just time for me to move on. Now, had I stayed longer, I don't think I would have had the successes and the fun times that I had, like I was having before, because that time of my life was over. It was time for a new chapter. And that's one of the main reasons that I moved on. And then this took me back to other times in my life where I wanted to speed things up. But I shouldn't have been trying to speed those things up, because that was a time for those things. So there's 3 in particular times in your life that you may try to speed things up. You may not even know that it's happening, so you should embrace it. But I'm going to talk about those 3 things right now. And I really want you to just remember these 3 things and these 3 types of times in your life, so that when they are happening, you can know that eventually the time will pass. Either you're going to enjoy that time, or you can learn something from that time. So there's always a season of pain in your life when something has just hurt you very deeply. I am not excluded from that. I've had times in my life where I have been hurt to the core, okay? Sometimes it was my fault, sometimes it wasn't my fault, but in this life that we live, there's nothing that's good or bad, okay? It's just something that happened, And so during this time of pain, I could have chose to really live in that pain and have a spirit of, oh, poor me, woe's me, and I'm not gonna disregard the pain that I felt, because it was horrendous, you know what I'm saying? But what you can do is choose to learn the lesson from that pain, okay? What is the lesson that you're supposed to learn, okay? Because I will tell you something about lessons. If you don't learn the lesson, you will repeat it. When something is happening to you that is of deep pain, look within yourself to say, is there a lesson that I am supposed to learn from this pain, okay? And just know that it will pass, okay? I promise you, there is a light at the end of the tunnel. Every time I look back at a painful, dark time in my life, what I did was, even though I wanted to get out of there was a light at the end of the tunnel, and that light was better than where I was in my life at that time. So have faith, okay? There is a light at the end of the tunnel, and if you learn the lesson, I promise you what's coming is way better than where you were at in the first place. The second season in your life is called the waiting season. I like to call that, when you're in the doctor's office and you just sitting in the office and you came on time for your appointment, right? You're like, okay, my appointment at 9 o'clock. I'm here at 8:45 or 8:30 or whatever. It's my turn, okay? But they are taking their time to call you, and you're just really antsy. This is your season of waiting, okay? The doctor represents God, okay? Or your higher power, whoever, whatever you may call it, okay? Don't try to rush this waiting season, okay? This waiting season is to prepare you for what your mission is. Think of it as a secret mission that your higher power wants you to go on, okay? Y'all could tell I read a lot of books back in the days, because I'm all about my imagination. And so during this waiting season, find some things to do. Work on yourself. This is what you should be doing in your waiting season. Work on yourself. Rediscover who you are. Have the self-awareness to learn about yourself. What are some fun things about yourself you can learn? What is it that you like? Date yourself again. What do you like? What do you not like? Do you need to cut off some friends? Do you need to dive deeper into your spirituality? What is it during that waiting season that you can do for yourself. The waiting season should be an exciting time for yourself, okay? I know during my waiting seasons, like during my last waiting season, like I reinvented my whole entire self. I put the blueprint down to reinvent my entire self, okay? I started a boutique, which I'm still working on some things to put that out. I'm a personal trainer now. I have my organic juice bar. Like, I'm all about nutrition. And so if I had just sat in that waiting season and just been like, oh, poor me, damsel in distress, oh my goodness, because that's like not my energy anyways, okay? I would have let these things pass me by. I wouldn't have been able to dive deep into what is it that Veronica loves to do, okay? If you are my friend and you know me, you know I'm all about health, nutrition, in the gym, eating right, all those things, right? And when I was working in the clubs, I couldn't do that to my 100% ability because I was up all night. I had to, have drinks with people that was impairing my health, making me feel bad internally because those were not the things that I wanted to do. I was not in alignment with those things. And during my waiting season, I came to the terms that it's time for me to move on. You know what I mean? So during your waiting season, work on yourself. Look at it as a positive thing, that it's all about you, and be selfish with that time, okay? Don't let anybody in, okay? All right. The next season is your season of blessings, okay? So now you've gone through the pain, you learned through the lessons, you went through the waiting season, you're rediscovering yourself, you're living in that self-awareness, you know what you like, you know what you don't like. Now we're in our season of blessings, okay? So I want you to think of your season of blessings like when somebody gives you a compliment, okay? And this is especially like for women. Like women, when we get a compliment, it is the hardest thing for us to say thank you and just receive it, okay? I used to do this as well. I don't do it anymore. I just say thank you because somebody gave me a compliment. I'm going to receive it. I need to learn to work on receiving. Because if you can't receive, then you're not going to notice what your blessings are and how you are supposed to get them, okay? Or I should say receive them. All right. So when a woman gets a compliment, most of the times we deflect the compliment. So say somebody says, oh my gosh, that's such a nice shirt that you have. And most women would be like, oh my gosh, yeah, I got this from the thrift store. It was only $5. I'm going to let you know right now, just stop the foolishness. All right. If a woman or anybody gives you a compliment, oh my gosh, that's such a nice shirt that you have. Oh my goodness, thank you. How are you today? Just receive it. Receive it. I want you to practice Practice to receive, okay? Because when we don't practice to receive, we can't receive the blessings that our higher power, the universe, God, is going to give us, okay? We won't be able to recognize what a blessing is if we're constantly deflecting, okay? So when you're in your season of blessings and good things are happening, okay, I want you to get those journals out. Remember that video that I did, like the last video? I want you to get those journals out and I want you to journal. I want you to journal like what it is that you're receiving. What are you grateful for? I am grateful for blank. Put your blessings in those blanks, okay? Because I promise you, if you wake up every day and you write down at least 5 things that you're grateful for, or you could do them at the end of the night, because the end of the night is like way better, because then you have had all day to think about all the blessings that you've had, and then you can write them down. But I want you to enjoy your blessings. During this season of blessings in your life, enjoy it wholeheartedly. Don't feel bad. Don't deflect. What is for you is for you. Okay, I want you to remember that. What is for you is for you, okay? And don't be ashamed. Like, claim your blessings, okay? Like, I'm claiming my blessings all the time. I even did my gratitude list. I think that's what spurred this on. It was a combination of, just the passage. There's a time for everything under the sun. There's a time for pain. There's a time for lessons. There's a time for blessings. There's a time to wait. And we all need to live in those moments because they're not going to be here for long, okay? I mean, just in like a couple months ago, I was having a bad time, and now like I'm on the upswing of things, you know what I mean? So whatever it is that you're going through, just remember it is just a season in your life. Better things are coming. Don't try to rush it. Look for the lesson. Work on yourself in the waiting season and receive your blessings wholeheartedly in your season of blessings. All right. Chop, chop. Start your day. Okay. I'm about to go put my face creams on, and I'm going to let the car warm up, and then I'm going to head out to the gym because your girl has got a full day today. And I will see you on the next video.